Supernatural's 200th episode! So, welcome back. It's the Supernatural Spectacular Show, and I just watched fanfiction Supernatural's 200th episode. Oh my god, it made me nostalgic. I was crying. Um, so here is some footage of me watching it. Enjoy. Alright, so welcome back. I watched fanfiction episode 5, and it was basically a salute to the fans. It had so many inside jokes from the fandom and from the show. It was so good. So it takes place in an all-girls school where they're doing a musical of Supernatural the musical, based on Carver Edlund's books, Chuck, as we know him. And in the beginning, it has all of the Supernatural title cards from all over the seasons, and it was great. There's some scarecrow thing taking the director and one of the actresses in the play. So Sam and Dean, of course, come by, and they find out that it's a musical about them, and it's really, their reactions are so funny. Dean's like, "There's no music in Supernatural, and if it was, it would be hard rock." So that was funny. Most of the episode was a bunch of inside jokes, talking about fan fiction. I mean, it's called fan fiction, so, yeah, this episode was so good. So the Scarecrow ended up being, sent by the goddess Calliope, who is one of the muses, and she's the goddess of epic poetry. And she's there to protect the author. So the actress that was in the play wanted to tell the principal to stop it, and the director was going to stop it too. The advisor, like the teacher. And so the Scarecrow took them, and it ended up being Calliope trying to protect the author and her cause. And so after she protects her, like after the musical, she was going to eat her, and of course Sam and Dean intervened. This episode was just, it was a salute to the fans. It had to have a storyline, of course, because what's a Supernatural show without, or what's a Supernatural episode without hunting something? I have to give this episode 10 out of 10. I loved it. It was everything I had hoped for the 200th episode, and I'm just so happy with it. So the editor rating at TV Fanatic was a 4.5 out of 5, and the user rating was a 4.7 out of 5, and on IMDb it was a 9.6 out of 10. So yeah, this episode made me super nostalgic. I mean, I absolutely loved it. So, thank you, Supernatural. So, next episode is episode 6, Ask Jeeves, and that was basically based off of the board game Clue, and it was like, they had to find the murderer. Was it the maid? Was it the butler? And they had the rope and the wrench and the pipe and the candlestick and the revolver, all the game pieces. And at one point they call one of the characters in the show Colonel Mustard and Ms. Peacock. So that was funny. Okay, so they get to this mansion because they get a call on Bobby's phone saying that he inherited something from an heiress who died. So they go to this mansion, and there ends up being a death beforehand, which they're not told about until they get there inheritance, and it's a little key, and they don't know where it is, and they're going to go sell it, and it turns out to be cubic zirconium and fake rubies. So they go back to find out where the key leads to, and they find out that one of the family members who was there for the funeral of the heiress was murdered. So they eventually find out that it's a shapeshifter, and it's the maid, and she shifted into the the heiress who had died and her husband who had died, and then she shapeshifted into the butler so that she could get around and stuff. So there was the women who were there. They were a bit older and they were flirting with Sam and Dean, and they were just like really funny. Like one line, she was like, "You know, they get finer with age, like wine or a cheese," and Sam goes, "I'm lactose intolerant." So that was a really funny line. Um, so then when they go to kill the shapeshifter, Dean shoots her a couple extra times, so it might be a sign that maybe the Mark of Cain is having an effect on him. And then Sam tries to talk to him at the end of the episode, and he just doesn't want to talk about it. He's like, "It's fine, I'm fine." I give this episode like a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, really cute. It was a good hunting episode. Um, but the editors at tvfanatic.com did not agree with me. They gave it a 3 out of 5, and the user rating got a 4.3 out of 5. And then at IMDb, it was an 8.4 out of 10. So that's not bad. Yeah, I thought it was a really fun episode. It was really good lines. It was good. So that's it for this episode of Liz's Supernatural Spectacular Show. I hope you enjoy. Give it a like, subscribe, and I hope you join me for next episode, where I will be reviewing episodes 7 and 8. Bye!